Hello. Last week, the sir went through chathurasram to tisram first class, and there were so many topics in there, so many concepts, and it was all packed in a very short time. So I'm trying to unpack these things because I think it will be doing very good to do a review and keep this as a reference. So I'm going to focus only on the basics today for chathurasram to tisram. So call this as 101 for the topic. So, what we are going to deal with today is very simple, right? Right now, we are going to take Aditalam, which has 8 beats, and in a Chatusra Gati or Chatusra Nadai, you will have 4 matrais in every beat. Remember that the naming is so close enough to another concept called Jati, right? Chatusra Jati and Tisra Jati, all those things we studied in the first concept of Talam, right? We are not talking about Jati here. We are talking about Gati or Natai. Jati means how many lagus are there in the lagu count, right? Like now, so because we are dealing with Adi Talam, it's only 4 lagus. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4 lagus, followed by Dhritam, beats 5 and 6, followed by another 2 beats, Dhritam 7 and 8. That is not going to change whether you are doing Chatusra Gati or Tisra Gati, right? What is going to change is inside that each beat, when you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, in these beats, each and every beat, how many matras are we going to pack inside each beat? That is what is considered as gati or nadai. So in this case, I will use these two words interchangeably, but do not confuse this with jati. Okay, again, we are looking at only in adi talam, which is chatusra jati, right? So that will remain the same. So in this case, another concept to make sure we get it is that the beat speed does not change. If you move from chatusra gati to tisra gati, the beat, for example, in our discussion, I'm going to use 75 beats per minute and it will sound like this: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is one avartanam. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we are going to keep the same beat and then we are going to pack 4 matras inside it and then 3, right? That is the transition that we are going to look at today. If you are familiar with Western music, you can call this as 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 5E and 6E and 7E and 8E and as Chatusram. And for the Tisram, they call it triplets. Triple, 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 triple. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 2. Triple, 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 triple. See, the beat speed did not change. I kept it at 75 beats per minute. And so you can keep it 75 beats per minute, 80 or 90 or whatever, but keep that beat count exactly the same. So if you have a small metronome, which is a free app, it will extremely be helpful in the initial days. And if you're familiar with the Carnatic music way of counting the matrais, it will be takadimi, 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 takadimi for chatusram. Going from that to takita, 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 takita. So there are many ways to understand that. Don't get confused with the different methods. Go with what you're familiar with. If you understand Western music, go from 1E and 2E and 2 triple triple. Or Carnatic music, takadimi to takita, takita. But the most important thing is the beat speed does not change. What you're changing is how many matras you're packing within that beat. Alright? So now let's go to this feeling. Like now, how does it feel like? Obviously, when you go from Chatusra Gati to Tisra Gati, when you're packing 4 matras to a beat to a 3 matras to a beat, what do you think it'll feel like? Like how do you feel in emotional? Like now, how do you feel in your gut, in your ears? How will you feel like when the teacher is changing the beat? When it packs from 4 matras to a beat to a 3 matras to a beat, how will it feel like? What is happening is, again, chathusra nadai or gati, from 4 matras to a beat, you are going to 3. It should feel, after transition, it will sound as if it is played at 3/4 the speed. So when you move from chathusra nadai to tisra nadai, the beat will feel like the playing will feel like your fingering is taking it easy, right? You're packing 4 matras to a beat, takadimi 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 takita 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 takita, right? So let's see how will it exactly feel in with the 75 beats per minute. Takadimi 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 takita 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 takadimi 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 takita 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 takita. This is not rocket science, right? You're packing 4 matras to a beat. Now we are after the avartanam at samam, you are packing 3 matras to a beat. Obviously it will sound slower, but the important thing is, instead of just saying it will be slowing or it will be fasting, if you can quantitatively tell, if you can put a number to it, then you understand it much better. So actually what happens is, when the transition happens, you will feel as if you are playing at 3/4 the speed or 75% of the speed. That means you will feel it is slowed, or it is 1/4 slower than before transition. Every way you can think about it, but understand in one way and stick to it. Don't say it will be 1/4 the speed. It is not 1/4 the speed. It will be 1/4 slower or 3/4 the speed. All right, I think that basics is we covered. If you didn't understand it, go back, do not go forward, do go back, listen to the last 5 minutes of this conversation, just to understand this part. This is the basic. Okay, if we don't understand this, do not move forward. Just understand this part, takadimi 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 to takita, without changing the beats per minute, but only packing the matras, different matras, and it has to feel slow to you. Okay, so after you understand this concept, now move forward. Now the question is, when chathusram changes to tisram, will it always feel slow? It will always feel faster than before, or does it depend? It's a quiz time. So think about for a few seconds before we move forward. So I want you to think, when the switch happens from chathusra nadai to tisra nadai, A, it will always feel slower. B, it will always feel faster. It depends. Okay, I want you to think through it before you move forward. All right, I think that's enough time of thinking. What did you say? Did you say it will always feel slower? It will always feel faster? Or it depends? Obviously, you would not have said it will always feel faster, because just in the last slide, we saw it will feel slower, right? When you moved from 4 matras to a beat to 3 matras to a beat, it actually felt slower. So obviously, B cannot be the answer. So is it A or C? What did you say? If you said it depends, C, you are right. But let's go and understand why does it depend? Because remember, tisra nada is not just 3 matras per beat. That's just the first beat. You can pack in 6 matras to a beat. In that case, when you move from 4 matras to a beat to 6 matras per beat, obviously your fingers have to work faster, right? And even for an audience who's listening to it, they'll think that suddenly the sound, the mridangam playing increased faster, right? Even if they don't know anything about nadais and all the lessons that you've gone through, they will feel as if something increased the tempo, right? But as I mentioned, the tempo is not increasing, right? We are still keeping to 75 beats per minute. What is increasing is how many matras you are packing in that beat. So again, if you understand the concept really well, you should be able to put a number to it, right? You should be able to, once you put a number to it and you can measure it, then you understand it properly, right? So obviously it feels faster. How much faster it will feel? It will sound as if it is played at 6/4 the speed. And if you simplify the fraction, that is 3 second the speed, or it will feel as if you are playing 1.5 times as fast as you are playing before the transition. Understand that very clearly, right? So for good, and visually it will look like this. You had 4 matras to a beat in chathurasra nadai, and then we are moving to 6 matras per beat. Okay, let's give an example to it. Takadimmi, 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 tadinginatum, 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 tadingin, takadimmi, 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 takadi, takadimmi, 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 takadi, tadinginatum, 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 tadinginatum. You see, when I moved from, in this case, when I moved from the blue to green, that is chathurasram to tisram, it actually sounded faster because you're packing more matras inside that beat. And I proved that I did not increase the speed randomly by keeping the metronome to keep me honest, right? It was always clicking 75 to the minute, 75 beats to the minute. All right. So we saw two examples going from 4 matras to a beat to 3 matras to a beat, felt slower, and we went chathurasra to tisram 4 to 6, it felt faster. Now let's look at all the combinations that we learned. In chathurasra nadai, you can pack 4 matras to a beat, but now that you guys have all played for more than 2 years, that is babyish, right? You know that you can pack 8 matras to a beat. That's when it becomes fun. And then at a teacher level, it can go to 16 matras to a beat and 32 matras to a beat. That's like level 5, level 6, right? Level 10. But let's focus on 4 matras to a beat. And obviously, we know going to the simplest case in Tisranada is 3 matra to a beat. Takita, takita, takita. Or it can be tadinginatum, 6 matras to a beat. Or the double of that, it can be 12 matras to a beat. Now we can put a mapping between going from 4 matras to a beat. When you transition, you can go to 3 matras to a beat, 6 or 12. Okay. But that is not the only combination, right? Chathurasra, you know that you can pack 8 matras to a beat. When you played Korva and all, you guys were rocking at 8 matras per beat. In that case, if you change to Tisram, you can go from 8 to 3. That will feel like so slow, and your fingers have to warm up, right? It has to warm up to go slower. Otherwise, you'll not be playing at the correct Tisram transition. Or from 8 matras to a beat to 6 matras to a beat, or 8 matras to a beat to 12 matras to a beat. In which case, your fingers have to be adept in playing more fingers per beat. And similarly, 16, just for completion, we'll keep 16 matras to a beat to 3, 6, and 12. So all these combinations are possible, right? And remember, chathurasra also can include 1 matra per beat. That's how you started your initial Faran. And there are 2 matras to a beat. So practically that is also possible, but just for simplifying, I'm just keeping the most often used 4 to 3, 4 to 6, 4 to 12, 8 to 3, 8 to 6, 8 to 12, and then same with 16. Now, if we have all of this, what can you expect next? We can put a full table, right? Chathusram, when you had 4 matras to a beat, and you can translate to 3 matras per beat, and this is how it will feel in the forward transition. If you're moving from Chathusram to Tisram, it will feel slower because you are now packing 3/4 the speed. But when you, after finishing the Tisram, when you go to Tisram back to Chathusram, it will feel your fingers have to be ready to play at a faster pace, right? Likewise, the simplest math is when the teacher asks, will it be slower or faster? Will it feel slower or faster? Will your fingers play more matras or not? Look at this matrix. Memorize this, right? You can go from 4 to 6, in which case, obviously, you need to play at a faster speed to keep up to the same beat, right? Faster. Your fingering should be faster to keep up to the same beat speed. So that is the example we got from Takadimi to Tadinginatum. It will be 6/4 the speed. Now, I purposefully left it as unsimplified fraction because you should know how I am getting this fraction. It is always post divided by pre. So if you're going from chathusram to tisram, the speed after transition, you have to be prepared to play at 6 over 4 the speed. Okay, so homework. I'm not giving everything away, guys, right? So you need to simplify this fraction and convert it to decimal to see what is the actual. For example, in this case, it's no human being says 6/4 the speed. We'll say 1.5 times faster. So I want you to put that hard work, right? Like now simplify this fraction, convert it to decimal, and see how much percentage you'll be have to be ready to play faster with the fingers. Okay, and likewise you can fill the whole table. And the magic formula to this table is that when you are moving from chathusram to tisram, you have to be ready to play post over pre. And when you are moving from tisram back to chathusram, now tisram becomes the pre, chathusram becomes the post. So you have to divide chathusram divided by tisram, right? So that's how you get this. Understand this concept really well. And also, again, a homework, add two rows. As I mentioned in the previous slide, I've left out purposefully one matre to a beat and two matre to a beat in chathusram. If you are playing at that speed, how many rows will you add for this pre to post transition? Will they feel faster or will they feel slower? And again, how much? Unless you know for yourself a number, you don't understand this concept really well, right? You can anyone can say fast or slow, but you need to be able to say how fast. You should be able to measure it. When you have metrics, that is your proof that you actually understand it. All right. Good luck with the tisram and rock on.